Two, one.
Welcome to the Buckhouse podcast. I'm Johnathan Buckhouse with your co-host Benjamin Buckhouse. We're two brothers that started a podcast together, and we just get together once a week and we catch up. We talk all things, mainly social media, motivation, business. We're doing stuff. We just talk about it with you guys, and a lot of people get a lot of good takes out of it. So I'm stoked on this podcast, and we are growing every single day. So how we doing, bro?
Doing much better than I was last week. Last week I was getting over that cold or sickness or whatever I had, but no, I'm feeling good, dude. I'm feeling feeling really good. I still have like random coughs, little congestion here and there, but no, I'm feeling good. I'm happy I was able to get back into the gym. Like that was something I was really looking forward to doing. And so yeah, back in the gym, and then from there, work's been great, and yeah, I like been streaming, been making some content. It's been great. It's been great. How you doing, bro? Didn't you just go on a trip or something along? Like, would you just go do?
So I was gonna say, I wish I could get back in the gym because I love the summertime where I'm like grinding and working out. It feels great. Then the season kicks off, and then I'm riding all day, and all my free time goes to riding, which is awesome. But I'm not like hitting the gym anymore and things like that. So I always get a little pudgier in the winter and things like that. And I was doing a big cut at the end of the winter to get my summer bod back. But what I was doing the last almost week was I went to Steamboat to promote a condo, and also we've done this every year. It's gone to the Steamboat condo, thanks to a guy named Brian. It's like ski in, ski out, and this year Bobby's stepmom watched the kiddos, so it was just me and Bobby, and then Cody and his new girlfriend came out. Cody was my old editor, and we just had a really good time, and it was really fun to hang out with Cody. Because he no longer works for me, so we have this somewhat weird trying to find we have a friendship, but I'm not his boss anymore, and he's not doing anything for me anymore. So we just navigate it's gonna take a couple times of hanging out for that to iron itself out and just feel like we're buds, and oh yeah, I worked for you years ago, but we're just buds. So that was a good step in that process, and Bobby really likes his girlfriend. But able to ride Steamboat, promote that condo, which is huge and just an asset to the family, and it was really cool to have that much time, adult time with Bobby. We don't get that often, so that was a good little thing. And then that set up me going to Breckenridge, which was the big deal trip, which is goofy for me to go stay in a hotel in Breckenridge, but because I live 30 minutes from Breckenridge. So Bobby was like, what do you mean you can go spend 2 nights in Breckenridge in 3 days filming with this ad agency? But it's called Dial Media, where it's an ad agency where they meet brands and they introduce them to creators, but they don't take a cut of what the creator gets. They get paid separately as a creator discovering thing. And then, they help us work our deals or meet brands and stuff like that. And so this was one of their events where we got to meet 7 different brands, got a lot of free product. We shot some stuff that they're going to show them and be like, hey, would you like to work with these creators? So there's a chance that I'll be able to partner up with a bunch of creators. But for me personally, one of the biggest things was I was able to connect with the hotel chain called Gravity House and their head social media guy. And so hopefully they have locations in Jackson Hole and Steamboat and Aspen and a bunch of really rad places that I like to go snowboarding. And if I could, that are expensive, but if I could get rooms comped to go and ride there, that would be a game changer. So really set some seeds with some important companies. And then I kind of got to work with Breckenridge Ski Resort again, which was kind of cool. Hopefully closing the door on the Keystone incident chapter in my life.
That would be ideal, because that Keystone incident, I don't understand. I understand, but it's I don't really get why it still is haunting you. But I was gonna say, bro, what about that little short I made for the podcast channel about the helmet sponsors? Anyone reach out to you about your helmet sponsor?
Yeah, Clue was like, hey, we'll give you the money to do it, even though there's not a helmet sponsor. Clue was like, hey, we'll fund that video project. So that's cool. I need to order those helmets.
There we go. It's not exactly what we're looking for, but shout out to Clue. Clue's dope for doing that.
Yeah, no, Blue rocks.
Now, I did want to touch on the gym thing real fast because I was like, something I'm proud of is this is something I've struggled with in the past, and it's a discipline thing, and that's like, so when I was getting sick, I was still going to the gym, which I'm happy that I was doing. But then there was a moment where like I did get sick, and that was when I like called out of work and stuff, and then it just like got worse from there. Like I couldn't breathe and things along those lines. So going to the gym wasn't very smart for me because I probably just needed to rest. And so I took like 4 or 5 days off from the gym, but I was able to get back into the gym. And that's like, there's normally points where I struggle where like I'll have a good rhythm and then all of a sudden like life will happen where I go on a trip or I get sick or, you know, family's in town. So then I get out of routine and then all of a sudden like my older routine doesn't really come back. So I'm happy that I didn't allow that to happen. You know, I had that sickness. I even had family in town, but I still jumped back in to that rhythm of like, I'm going to the gym no matter what. So just want to say I'm proud of myself for that. And I plan on keep on doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it is really hard to get back into a routine once you've lost a routine. I mean, that's why yesterday when we wanted to film the podcast, I wasn't awake because I just got back from that influencer event. And I was like staying up later. We were like eating dinner at like 8 p.m., which is like normally when I go to bed. So I wasn't going to bed till like 11. You know, like I was just off and I needed like a full day to like recorrect my schedule. I ended up waking up at 1 a.m. this morning and being like, well, I'm not tired anymore. And like I've got so much work that's stressing me out. So I came in the office. I've been working for 3 hours prior to this podcast. So like, yeah, like getting back into routines is tricky and different. And it is nice when you can come back from a sickness or something and get that routine going once again. And I always find it's like when you're seeing positive changes, it's easier to get back to those routines. But when you feel like what you're doing is almost pointless, you're like, whatever, like I'm not going to get back at it.
Yeah. Seeing results is very motivating. And you know, they always touch on motivation versus discipline and how like motivation comes and goes. Discipline is what you need in life because discipline is what's going to be there every day and with or without the motivation. But it's like, yeah, if you're like going to the gym for 3 months and you're not seeing any results and then you get out of that routine, it's very difficult to get back into the routine because you're like, why was I even doing it in the first place type of thing. So yeah, I know what you like seeing those results. And I will say I'm seeing results in the gym, like more so than I have in the past. I've gone to the gym in the past. I think I've talked about it on the podcast of like with my brother Tyler or even Johnathan and I went to the gym for a little bit, stuff like that. And I don't know. This time around that I'm going to the gym, I'm seeing better results. I feel like I'm also doing better on the eating side of things, as in like I'm number one, eating healthier. I still eat not the best, but I'm eating healthier. But then on top of that, I think I'm eating enough. That was something I struggled with in the past, was like getting enough protein in or getting enough calories in. And so it never felt like I was really gaining that muscle. But now I'm feeling good. Yes, I'm flexing a little bit.
No, they always say you can't outwork a bad diet. Currently, we're on a bad diet, me and Bobby, but we'll bounce back. And that's one of the nice things that I've learned over the last couple of years, specifically like the last 3 years, is like how to eat right, how to diet correctly, to turn your body around and get better. But also, like you said, like eat enough in the sense of too, like not overeating. So my stomach has definitely shrunk. I used to like sit down and eat like half of a pizza. Now I'm like, yo, dude, just eat 2 slices. If you are going to eat pizza, just eat it in a smaller quantity. Like, don't be a fatty. Like, chill out. And so, yeah, learning a lot of that stuff helps. And it's so hard when you're grinding. Like, I'm in grind right now, especially being December between like brands and I've normally don't do any traveling around this time of the year. And I've done 3 trips already this early in the year. And trying to keep up with the new content and stuff. It's like it's been a lot. And I also have an announcement.
Do you have an announcement that you need to make right now?
I mean, I guess we could talk about it on the podcast, but I was going to talk to you about it anyways.
Okay. What's this announcement? You're keeping us in the dark. I need the lights turned on right now.
I'm going to go back to daily videos, but
okay.
I'm going to do a different style for the filler days, or quote unquote filler days. So like still going to do the vlogs Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like that's the goal. And then I'm not going to announce that it's daily, but I want to try and post a video every single day, because like the shorts have been great for growth. And yes, my money did go up, but now I've hit a point where like, no, my money should be a lot higher, and it's not. My long form views are a lot lower type thing. And so I had this idea for long form content that is not like highly edited. And the kind of the inspiration, and you might know the dude, is that Sam Solik kid that's like a massive bodybuilder.
I do know him. Yes, he is insane.
His styles of videos, like he's just like, let's go to the gym, and like is just sitting there talking and like driving his car. Or, like he's in the gym and he's like does a set and he talks, and then he does another set and just talks, and it's like it's not punching in, it's not doing anything crazy, it's very raw.
So like Sam Solik isn't somebody I necessarily watch, but like I've seen stuff of him. If that makes I know exactly what you're talking about, because I've seen stuff where he'll be just like doing a set of a workout, and then he'll randomly just be like, yeah, if you are lifting weights and if the last bit of your reps are just you really struggling, that's actually exactly what you want. And so yeah, just keep doing stuff like that. And it's just like a small little like insert, and that's it. And I think that that's what you're saying. Like what I watched is probably like a snippet of his full video. But I've seen, I want to say I've seen other stuff like that, and it does really well. I mean, I watched this guy that plays Johnathan and I's like one of our favorite video games, Borderlands, and it's very similar, where he has like not actually a goal or a theme to the video, but he'll have like a series where he's like playing this one character or whatever, but it's just like a portion of his stream, just snip it down, and it's not like a full YouTube video or anything like that. And I watch those videos like when I'm editing or whatever. I watch like 4 or 5 of his videos in one sitting, so I see how that could be beneficial, and I feel like that actually would really work, because isn't that one guy that blew up on snowboarding like that?
I don't know, there's been a couple that have blown up on short form that are like point of view and talking stuff, but where here's the kicker, and like here's the theme and how I think it will do very well. And I'm gonna start, obviously I'll start kind of Keystone and Breck and places I know well, but I'm gonna pick a run, so like Spring Dipper. And so it's gonna be like starting like at the last quarter of the chairlift, and I'll be like on like hey guys, like today I'm gonna take you down Spring Dipper. This is like my 5th favorite run at Keystone. Like I could really enjoy it. I've learned a lot of things on it, and I know this run very well. So let me like just kind of walk you through this run, and then like go in and like strap in and like talk, but like no cuts, like very raw, very like, hey, you're here. But like I'm an expert content creator, so I'm gonna make it enjoyable. It's gonna be entertaining through the process. You know, there's like crazy dead times or like horrible like reframing or things like that. So then we'll like start the run and like, hey, like this is one of my favorite side hits. Like I literally learned backside 180s on this roller right here. Like this is where the run I would do, and I would practice it on this and then like hit it. And then to like give a tip for like one of the biggest tips for backside 180s is like you got to get your shoulders around. Like, you got to do this, and it's just like a ride with me. And then like hey, like at this point of the run, like it does get a lot steeper and it does get a lot icier. How I avoid the ice is I kind of like hang out in this area, and I do know it's icy, so I just kind of accept like I'm not going to snowboard cool in this spot. I'm just going to kind of like hang on for dear life, and then it does get flat. So then also now, once I get past the ice, I'm going to point it and just like give these like my true insight on a run.
No, I love that idea, bro. I love that idea. I think that do really well because, like I said, I'm seeing the format in my head of like what it would look like, especially because, like I said, like that's I know a little like I have got comparable YouTubers I've watched that do that. Um, but also what's crazy is I haven't gone to Keystone in like 2 or 3 years, and I literally, as you were explaining to me what you would be saying, I was envisioning parts of the run that you're talking
Yeah.
about. So that's pretty cool. But no, bro, I think that would do extremely well. I think that would do extremely well, and I think that it would give a different insight to Johnathan instead of it being this like influencer that you hate that term to a certain extent, but it's like instead of being this influencer snowboarder, it's just like, hey, come ride with me, and like that's what it is. It's just like you talking to yourself and vibing and like just doing your thing.
And then I could go film like 5 of those in a day. Like, hey, like let's go do like my next run or whatever. And people are interested in the ski resorts, and I have a proven model. I have my top to bottom runs, but I normally only do those like when a resort opens. You know, I'm like, all right, Keystone just opened. They opened Schoolmarm like 2.5 miles. It's not open to the bottom. Like Snowfield's kind of like this. You know, just kind of like I walk people through top to bottom, and those will get 40 to 50,000 views. You know, but like I think if I created a series where like 2 to 3 times a week I post a ride with me, and it's like, hey, like today we're gonna go ride like Notch 1 at A Basin, and like this is like some of the hardest terrain in Colorado, and like this is what I'm thinking while I ride this run, and kind of go through that, and just it allows like a lot of like the true, not saying I don't have the true me in my vlogs and things like that. It's just like, it's just raw. And I think right now, like there was the beastification of YouTube is what they call it, where it's like highly edited, punching in, punching out, like things popping up all the time. And that is important to an extent, but like there's been a proven model of like these like really slower paced, like raw, real, not AI'd human videos are doing well. And I can also post the same video on short form, at least on Instagram and TikTok, that allow longer than 3-minute shorts.
I do think that people are trying to stay away from like the AI type of content and more so just like you're saying, like the raw content, or just I don't know, yeah, like just like more personable. But I wanted to touch on what you said about how it's like it's not that it's not you in your videos, but it's like you said, like it's like YouTubeified or whatever you said. It's like, yeah, as much as it's the reality. It's like, yes, this even this podcast, like this is me. This is me. This is Benjamin Buckhouse. But I'm also like, you know, talking a little bit. It's like me, but like a level higher, just because this is a podcast. You guys are listening. I need to keep you captivated. I need to keep you interested. I'm literally moving my hands right now as I'm talking. Although I do use my hands when I talk in everyday life, not this much because I'm not on a camera. I'm not like trying to captivate somebody for a whole hour type of deal. And same thing with like a YouTube video, and you just have to kind of fight the algorithm, and you have to fight you have to get people's attention. So although like, yeah, your vlogs are you and like that is you still have to be that like level above just to make sure that you're fitting the kind of like YouTube standards. Whereas this gives you that opportunity to just be you. Like you don't have to have that extra level up or whatever. And I'm sure at the end of your little video, you'll be like, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, we do this daily. But like that's.
I'm not bringing the daily shout out back, but yes, I mean, the goal is going to be to try and to have a piece of content coming out daily because I got to pay bills and stuff. But also, I do think this format's going to work, and I definitely feel lost in my long form. As weird as that sounds, I went from daily and I'd have strategies and all this type of stuff, and now I just feel like I'm struggling to keep up, or I'm filming long form videos, but I don't really enjoy them because they're not coming out. At least I don't feel like I'm filming them the way I want to, and I really miss having a filmer. That's for sure. And so definitely it's hard because like I've grown 80,000 followers on TikTok since the season started. I broke 300,000. Like, when I showed up at that influencer event, like, people were like, "Oh, you're like Summit County legend Johnathan Buckhouse," and like when I checked in, the people are like at the counter were like kind of like not like, "Hey, how can I help you?" And I was like, "Hey, I'm Johnathan. I'm here for this like influencer event type thing, whatever." And they're like Buckhouse, and like their face lit up, and they're like, "Oh, you're the Buckhouse, like that." Oh, like it was crazy. Like I've never been more known and famous and respected in a way, but like feel like personally that I have no idea what's going on. As weird as that sounds.
I'm not trying to stroke your ego, but like, no, dude, you kind of are a big deal, and I know that because when like Kirsty tells me about she has a, I guess you could say, colleague. So Kirsty works with she works with like Medicaid insurances, stuff like that. Like that's what she does for her job. And so there's a insurance representative that goes to her work. So she like works with him, but he doesn't work with the same company or anything. So I've never met the guy, but after he was like, "Wait, Kirsty Buckhouse, do you know what Johnathan Buckhouse?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's my brother-in-law." He like flipped out. He was like, "What? You're Johnathan Buckhouse's like sister-in-law? That's crazy!" Like, I watched that guy, so like I've been watching him for years, and like he's a big fan. And then he started telling people, he's like, "Yeah, her husband and his brother do a podcast together. You guys should listen to it." Like, there's people that like they think that you're the coolest thing in the world, and that's just, and like I see it too. Like I'll just be going around and like they're like, "Wait, are you Benjamin Buckhouse?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Wait a minute." And then they like have a little spiel. They're like, "Oh, I've been watching your brother since season 1. It's so cool that it's like to see you. Like I wish you were on the channel more." I like, they like freak out for a second, and then what was I about to say also? Like, I mean, when we did the rail jam, there was kids that were so pumped to see you because you're like, you're their like role model, dude, and it's sick. And I've got colleagues that are like, "Yeah, I was watching this video and it was this Grinch snowboarding, and I was laughing so hard, and then I looked down and saw that it was your brother." And like, yeah, like people just see you randomly now, and like, yeah, you're a big deal, bro. You're a big deal.
Yeah, I mean it's nice, and it's cool. But I hate, like, I've never did this for the fame aspect, and I feel like that's all I'm getting right now is the popularity aspect, and like I'm also not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I want to snowboard. But sadly, over the last couple of years, my money has been going down and down and down, thus making me have to get rid of my full-time filmer and editor, which is what gave me what I really wanted, which was the ability to snowboard as much as I wanted while being filmed and make whatever videos I want to make. And now it's like, oh, I want to make a video. Like I got Buddy the Elf costume. Now I want to go make a really funny Buddy the Elf video for Christmas. I don't have a filmer. And like the people that do volunteer or like are down to film are not that great at filming. Like not my ideal person to go out and film. Like I'm gonna dress up in a costume and like we have one take for me to like screw up going the elevator at Vale type situation, and so.
All right, bro, just pay for my ticket. I'll be right there. Just next time, tell me that the mics do or do not work when they're on.
Yeah, no, keep the mics on. The funny thing is you could have left the mics on the whole event and the battery would have been fine. Like,
well, I honestly, like, I should have known better. But I figured that it was like we want the mics on for when you're talking, but for the rest of it, the like camera on the or the mic on the camera would have been fine. But for whatever reason, I didn't take into consideration that like the mics were always plugged in, which overrides the mic most of the time. I just didn't put that into consideration. And so like I should have known better. It is what it is. It was the first time I've ever filmed with your setup, so it is what it is. Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, it worked out fine because the video style didn't really need crazy audio anyways. But yeah, I mean, I really, like, my favorite video to make is a vlog. Okay, like we're here today. Well, let's just go snowboard. And I feel like I don't get to make those as much anymore.
Do you think that having a filmer is like peak content creation for you? Like that's the best. Like, it sounds like a redundant question, but like that's what I'm trying to like lead into something else. So it's like, is that having Cody with you? Is that like peak time to go make content?
Yeah, like having it just allows me to do, even if the person's just holding the camera while I'm standing and talking, and I don't have to go find a place to like stick my selfie pole in and like put it up in the air. I don't know, like, and it just also like allows me to feed off the other person, and that's the other thing too, is like when I go make a vlog, if I have a filmer, if I got someone to talk to. Where if I go out on the mountain by myself, yes, I can film myself, and yes, I can talk to the camera, but like that interaction with another person is better. And sometimes in those vlogs, like a statement will make the cut, but the statement was to Cody, but it sounds like it's to the audience, and it just works.
Yeah, that's something as a streamer that people struggle with, and I've gotten a lot better over the years. But as a streamer, especially a small streamer, you have to be entertaining constantly, because if somebody comes into your chat, you have literally like 15 to 30 seconds to keep them in your chat. You have 15 to 30 seconds to keep them interested enough to stay. And so you pretty much have to be talking to yourself the entire time, just constantly talking to yourself. And that's not easy unless you kind of are that person. And I know that sounds weird, but it's like some people, particularly people that have like ADHD, can do that. They can just sit there and talk to themselves like there's no problem with it. But I will be streaming, and I feel like I'll be entertaining enough, and somebody will come in my chat and say hi, and I'll read their chat instantly and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Like, and I'll say their name, like, "Hey, what's up? How's your day going?" Blah blah. And they won't respond. Like, you have such a small window to be entertaining, and it's difficult. And so I couldn't imagine like having to go onto the mountain where like you're focused on so many different things, trying to enjoy your day. Well, I say enjoy your day, but like, try to like be like, I'm snowboarding, I'm having fun, but also like, all right, I gotta talk to this camera by myself on this mountain all day.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just one of those things where, and naturally, it naturally is one of those things where like Cody going away because he's got like a girlfriend and needed to level up his life and things like that. Like that's fine, and I could always get another filmer, and it could always be a new person. But I don't know, it was very nice having Cody the last 3 years. He killed it. That dude is a awesome person. So if Cody, if you are listening to this, man, thank you for the radness for the last 3 years. And we still like hang out and stuff. Like I said, he came to Steamboat with me, but one, he didn't have an icon pass. So like when I went and rode Steamboat, I did it by myself. We split boarded up a mountain, but once again, like he doesn't work for me. So I'm not like, hey, like, can you get this angle? Can you get this? Like I filmed it all by myself. And then with the constant need for shorts and things, it's like, oh, I got to think about what kind of shorts do I want to get today. I need to leave the mountain with like 5 shorts in order to like have videos for the next couple of days, things like that. And then I don't know, like that influencer event thing was cool, but like they had their videographers there and their filmers, and we were filming stuff for them. So like I literally didn't get to film anything for 2 days, and we were on the mountain all day. So I was like, I've never been on the mountain so long and gotten so little content for myself. And like the few times I did like sneak away to get something for myself, like it didn't work out. I'm like, ugh. It's yesterday I had one of those days where you feel like the world's falling apart all around you.
2 days all day and you don't get any content. That's got to be frustrating.
I mean, they're going to send me the stuff they filmed, but there's so many other people, like it's just going to be very limited in reality.
But like, what type of content were you filming? Are you allowed to speak on that?
Yeah, essentially they had like these brands they wanted to represent or show off. And so we were basically just ski models. if that makes
Ah,
sense.
yes, Johnathan the model, just standing there, all posing in gear and stuff.
And the last 2 days it was so cold, so you're like just freezing, waiting for your turn to do this trick over this packet of hydration water packet, like, or this backpack, or it's like, ugh. I mean, it was cool, and hopefully it turns into like brand deals and things like that. But it was not my sickest time of snowboarding. And then yesterday I wanted to get out, and then all of a sudden I literally did sticker orders for like 8 hours yesterday because my print on demand website's screwing up and not actually sending people the proper stuff. And it's just the perks of owning a business.
So, are you not doing your own stickers anymore?
No, I do my stickers, but on my sticker website, you can order like hoodies and shirts and things. And specifically, this person ordered like $200 worth of like, t-shirts and hats and things, and their order hasn't shown up, and it's been like 3 weeks, and it's like hasn't shipped. Not like there's just nothing. So now I have to. Printful is who like fulfills those orders, and the person like one started on my product, like never showed up, whatever. And then I'm like, hey, like I didn't know this was an issue, but also like I don't ship this, and they're like, what do you mean it's your business? And I'm like, I use like a third party, and so this, because then there's also people like, hey, I ordered a snowboard beanie, but I got a ski beanie, but realistically they ordered a ski beanie, and I'm like, hey, you truly ordered a ski beanie. I know you wanted a snowboard beanie, but like I can't like exchange this for you because like I don't have that ability. I don't have those beanies. Like they're made by this company when they're ordered, and then people get so frustrated about that stuff, and I'm like, I am one person, and I can barely make time to do this podcast with my brother because there's so much going on. It's like, guys.
I feel for you, bro, because I know that it's not realistic, but I personally hate dealing with third party stuff, and that's just not realistic. Because, like you said, you're one person, but also, like, yes, you're running a business, but to then create like a whole section or like a whole department dedicated just for t-shirts, like that's a major investment. And I'm not saying that you're not willing to invest in your stuff, but it's like that's a major investment that is just not realistic at this moment in time. Later, yes, like like big YouTubers, they have their own like t-shirts essentially facility that are making like that stuff, Dude Perfect or that this Mr. Beast, stuff along those lines. They're not using those print on demand stuff, but that's why the print on demand stuff, like, they exist, because it's not realistic for even a large channel like you to be able to do that on your own and everything. So it's great that they exist, but like one of my biggest complaints when I was working at Avis Budget is that they third party resourced everything. Our cleaning crew, the people that cleaned our cars, was third party, and that was issues on its own, and they were there every single day with us. That created its own issues. Our customer service was third party. That was a mess. People could create reservations through third party websites, and that would cause issues. Like there was always issues with third party, and like you're dealing with that right now. So I feel with you, bro. Like I feel for you. Like that does suck, and it sucks that you have to essentially explain that to people, and not everyone sees that perspective of life. That it's like, yes, I'm Johnathan Buckhouse, but like I don't have this 20 team group behind me that's able to make all these t-shirts and deal with all these orders for you. Like that's not real life. Like it's just not. So sorry.
And I tried to build a team and to have like a lot of that stuff, like I hired 3 people. I like really was like, okay, like we're going to do this thing. And then it's just the reality of what it is, like my channel does well for one person's livelihood, or like where I want to, like the standard of living that I want to have. But all that excess money that I was like, okay, I'm going to put this into that. I'm going to put this into that. Like that slowly dipped away with I truly believe it was at the launching of short form content. TikTok started taking off, and then YouTube dropped YouTube Shorts. And then since then, like long form content is just not doing as well as it used to do. So, I tried, but I do think there are some solutions, and I do think there's some things that can go different. Like I talked about in the past, like I got on the phone with Gilson yesterday. We finally got to catch up, and it's one of those things like we wanted Buckhouse Wax this season, and we were doing a lot of stuff to launch it, and then it kind of got to the point where it was going to be extremely rushed, and we also needed an insane amount of capital that was going to be like that I'm saving up for now, but like was going to just be this like all of a sudden maybe we're giving up way too much ownership in the company in order to get this money, things like that, So we kind of just like pumped the brakes on it, like, hey, like, let's have like a really solid launch the next year with Buckhouse Wax. But also like I do think like Gilson could become my third party merch provider, which would be way better than a Teespring who I got to call and they're not going to care who I am, and the fact that I have a customer that's having issues and they haven't shipped their merch, where if there's an issue, I call Gilson and they're gonna be like, oh, we're on it, we'll fix it. Like I can call the people, not get Teespring's third party communication person. Like I'm dreading this phone call today that's gonna probably take like 5 hours.
Yeah. No, I think that's like that's the next step to kind of gear you in the direction of like kind of owning your own t-shirt situation, right? Like the next best thing is, like you're saying, like having a partnership with a company that does already do that, in like a actual partnership, not like, oh yeah, I've got a partnership with Teespring, which is just you having an account with them and then they just do, like, ship your orders for you. Like that's not real. Whereas having like, no, I know the owners, they've been doing this for a while, they care about their brand, they care about my brand, we collaborate, we are going to do this correctly, right? I think that's the next step for you. So 100%, bro. I think that's like that. I think that would be a great thing for you to do.
And then also like the quality goes up because they just had better quality shirts and things. The money stays in snowboarding because Gilson's a snowboard company, and so yes, they're going to get a cut of every order, but it'd probably be a lower cut than what I'm giving Teespring. On top of that, like that money's going to them and not going to who knows what, like all of it's like a net positive, and it's one of those things we're gonna try and build. And I really like those dudes, and it's one of those things we just didn't like. It's one of those things where their business started getting really crazy and busy, and then my stuff started getting crazy and busy. And also, it was like a quick, like, oh, we didn't talk for like a month and a half as well. And it's like, dude, no big deal. Like, we got on the phone. I was like, all right, we got busy. That's how it goes. But I do plan on going out back to that Gilson warehouse a couple of times in the summer and in person working on a lot of these businesses and things. And I have a ton to learn from these dudes. They're like very successful business owners. So.
That's dope, dude. That's dope. I feel like I had something to say, but I don't know if I did. But no, that's dope. It's great that like getting busy. This is something I've been like stuck on for a while. I say a while. It's been something I've been stuck on, especially with the holidays coming up. But it's like I'll get happy about being busy, kind of like when I went to go help you film the meat and wax, because it was like there was work stuff, then I had my own personal stuff that I was doing, and then going up to Loveland to help you film that, and then family event literally in Denver right after that, and then the next day another family event, and then like still had to do the podcast. Like I was so busy, and I love that, but I was also like, I want to be busy like selfishly. And it's not that I was upset about filming your event, but it's like I was busy all weekend, but I was doing other people's stuff. I was doing your thing, I was doing family stuff, and it's just like I want to be busy doing my own stuff. But I'm also like noticing that I'm like, when I'm busy doing my own stuff, I'm still taking breaks here and there to like just chill or like play a game or whatever. And I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm like, it's good to be busy. Like I just am reminding myself that like it's like just because I want to relax, like that's not a good thing. Like it's good to be busy. And so hearing that from you, it's like you're busy, the Gilson's busy, like that's a good thing. Like although yes, your guys' relationship isn't what it was a month and a half ago, it's good that you guys are busy. Like that's a good thing. That means that your business is doing well. That means that their business is doing well. Like that's a good thing.
No, totally. And the only time that I hate being busy, and like I'm like very busy. Like yesterday, I sat in my office like all day. I hate when I'm so busy I can't snowboard, which happened yesterday, and I hate when I'm so busy I can't give Bristol and Roman like the proper attention. So like Roman had his school concert, whatever, yesterday. So like I'm like in the office getting sticker orders done. It was like over 130 something orders on top of like messaging people like my order hasn't shown up. This like dealing with like the not fun stuff. And then I also was out of town, so I had a couple orders that were supposed to ship, and they were like, should have shipped 3 days ago. And I'd like message them like, say like I'm out of town, it's just me, sorry. Dealing with all that type of stuff all day while Bristol's coming in the office like, Daddy, like come lay with me, Daddy, play with me, Daddy, stop working, Daddy, come here. And it's like, I want to, sweetie, so bad. And that's like one of the downsides of working at home, or her being home all day, is like, yeah, she wants attention, she wants to hang out. Like obviously I would want to do that, but within reality, like this was not a day that I could give her attention. And so like that all sucks. But then by the time I was like, okay, we need to leave for Roman's school players, like a concert or whatever, I was like, I don't have any shorts done. So we're on our way there, and in the car, I'm trying to post my first short, and then we go to the concert and do that. And then we come home, and I still have 2 more shorts to post on all platforms. And like Roman's like, hey, Dad, like let's do this. Say, Dad, throw the football with me, this, that. And I'm like, yeah, dude, like I want to. Like, give me a second. Like, why don't you just like sit down and cuddle with me while I try and get these posted? And it's just like, I'm not giving them the attention that they need and want because I got to wrap up my day, and like it just goes on to the whole night. But thankfully, I was able to give Bobby some quality attention after the kiddos went to bed. We finished like the football game and stuff like that. But I hate that busy. I hate when busy affects like the family aspect. But you're not wrong though. Like being busy is nice when it stops you from all of a sudden melting away 4 hours into a video game or something like that.
Yeah. No, being busy is nice. It can be draining though. So I don't want to rag on anyone, but so my job what I do at my job entails a lot of Excel documents and double checking to make sure that everyone else is doing their job. As in like there's when these therapists, so I work for an ABA therapy company. We work with kids with autism, and what it is it's not like a classroom and there's 10 kids all there with like 1 or 2 teachers. It's literally like 1-to-1 teacher to student time. So there's a therapist that is with the student throughout their entire session or their entire day, and they have to write a note, like a medical note that talks about the analytics and the data and stuff like that, right? So my job, one parts of my job is to like review the notes, make sure that they're filled out properly, and then make sure that they're also submitted onto this website properly. And so I have to do that all day, just making sure that everything is good to go. Well, one of my peers, or like one of the other front desk people at another location is on a vacation, and so I need to help cover her portion of those notes. And like I said, I'm not trying to rag on anyone, but this person is not organized, and I spent my entire day yesterday just staring at spreadsheets and documents and analyzing and fixing and changing and like just overall like cleaning up somebody's mess. And it was a very busy day for me. It was one of the busier days I've had in a while at work. And like it was nice because I knew I was doing good. I knew I was getting a lot done. I knew that I was helping the overall company. So like it felt good, and it felt good to be busy also because like my day was going by faster and everything. But just when I got by the end of the day, dude, I was so drained after just staring at the computer screen, staring at these spreadsheets all day. So like, yeah, it was nice to be busy, but I do think that it's like similar to like discipline. It's like a muscle that you have to work to like get accustomed to being that busy all the time. Because for you, bro, like you're busier than the average person, but I'm sure that you're not as drained. Like you're still drained at the end of the day, but like you're not as drained as other people would be. It's like you have to work up to that level of busyness. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think the mental drain can be pretty daunting when it comes to content creation, because there's the like, you beat yourself up mentally because it's like, oh, I let this customer down because I didn't ship their order on time, and then I also missed out on this brand deal because I didn't email them back fast enough. And oh, by the way, I got a DM from a kid that literally said, "You suck at snowboarding, go die," and then a couple other comments that weren't very nice. Or the video I posted was taken out of context, and everyone thinks that I was in the wrong for getting hit by a skier. And then, oh, by the way, like your daughter really wanted to hang out with you all day today, and you blew her off because you had work. Like I don't think, and Ninja has been talking. Like it's actually been going along around a lot with streamers, because Courage and Ninja were streaming, and Courage was taken out of context, and it made him sound like he was saying that streaming is harder than a 9 to 5. And I think like what people really need to do a better job of is realizing everyone has a different hard, but it's still hard.
I, as somebody that's like struggled with it and been like self-employed and worked many different 9 to 5s, and I haven't been self-employed to the extent that you have, like as in like the duration that you have, but I would say that I personally would say that working a 9 to 5, like there's like kind of like what you're saying is like everyone has a different heart, and that I 100% agree with that. But it's like I would almost say that you have to like choose your heart, and like being self-employed, the hard is that you're working pretty much 24/7, but the 9 to 5, the hard is that you're working for somebody else. Like you, like not just like you have a boss, but it's like you're not building anything. You may be building your career,
You're
but it's
trading
like you're
your
not.
life in for money.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. You're trading in time for money. Whereas like for you, bro, yesterday was a busy day, and I'm sure that it sucked that you didn't get to spend time with Roman and Bristol the way that you wanted to. But you also have the ability to be there for them in so many other different ways. So it's like right now it's almost like I want to say you're tunnel visioned, but you're like you're stuck on this like it sucked yesterday that I couldn't throw the football with Roman and I couldn't cuddle with Bristol because I was just so busy. But then there's other days where it's like you make their dreams come true and you make their day, but it's because you have the avenue to do that. So there are pros and cons to it. There are blessings and disadvantages to it. And yesterday was just one of those disadvantages days. Like it was just one of those not so great days because of how busy you are.
No, totally. And even on the busy day, I was complaining about getting my shorts up later than the time that I wanted to get up. But I still posted 3 shorts on 3 different platforms, as well as like I think I did a couple of Snapchats posts as well, which I'm monetized on Snapchat now, by the way. And I also posted my good buddy Tom's documentary on my channel as a long form video. So a long form video went up yesterday. And like as much as it felt like my world was falling apart yesterday, like I still took steps forward. Like every piece of content that's posted is a step forward. I got messaged by 4 different brands yesterday that I replied back to, and it's just like yeah, no, totally. Like, where you work for a 9 to 5, you have a really crappy day at work. Well, guess what? That was just a really crappy day, and you didn't take any steps forward. You're just gonna get paid for your really crappy day, but you get paid the same amount as if you had a really good day. I do miss, though. I really do miss clocking out, and that's the end. And now I get to go play video games, and nothing else matters. But that's low level life. As crappy as that sounds, if you want to have like big nice things, you want to do big things. Like you can't have a life where, I clocked out. Now I get to turn off for the rest of the day. You doing that occasionally is fine, but if you really want to get ahead in life, it's like, hey, what's your side hustle? What are you working on? Like if you own something, like what projects do you doing at your house to make your house better? Like, you don't want to always clock out and turn off for the whole day. At least, I don't know. I'm kind of a workaholic, so.
I think we've talked about it in the past, but it's like, who am I to judge on how somebody wants to live their life, right? There's people that they want to live their life where they work their 9 to 5, get off, and go and play video games. That's what they want to do. That's their favorite thing in the world to do. Who am I to say you're not working hard enough, right? For me, I want to have a big house. I want to have nice cars. I love cars. I love cars. I know that that's a terrible investment in life and everything, but like they are, I wouldn't necessarily say a hobby to the extent of like I don't work on cars and stuff, but like I like cars. That's just what I love cars. And I want to have a truck. I want to have a Toyota Land Cruiser. Like those are things that I want. And in order to get them, I can't just work my 9 to 5 and then go and play video games. I have to do different avenues to work to grow those or to work towards that. So who's, that person that's going home and play video games, that's their big house. That's their car. Like that's what they want is just to play video games and enjoy their time. Go for it, dude. Like that's not what I want to do. Like, yes, it is what I want to do, but like, that's not how I want to live my life. So like I'm gonna have to do it differently, but yeah, there's that. But
no, that's a good point. And like I want big things out of this world, and in order to have those big things, I know I have to work extremely hard. And so I think some people, and it's not everyone. It's a very few, far in between amount of people that like they want the big things, but they don't want to do the work. And so you just have to have your perspectives and your wants and your where you're at in line. Because for many years I did want and I did like going to work, clocking out, going and playing video games. Like that's what I did from like, I either went snowboarding and I went to work, snowboarding, and then came home and played video games. And I did that from like 19 to 25. Is like what I did was work, snowboard, play video games. Somehow I kept Bobby through that whole process. And then all of a sudden I got to the point I was like, hey, I could actually be rich. I could actually be successful. I could actually have things in this world. What? I didn't even realize I could. And then I went down the rabbit hole of self-improvement and figuring out how businesses worked and how to be self-employed and all that type of stuff. And then I leveled up in life, and now I don't play video games at all.
There's one of my favorite videos on YouTube. I'll have it linked. It's Casey Neistat's. It's like life explained in 30 seconds. It's something. It's a literal like a less than a minute video.
On the treadmill. Or
it's him on the airport walking escalator, exactly. And Johnathan knows exactly what video I'm talking about. And he's just like as he's walking on the opposite direction of these flat escalators, guys. And so he's like walking against the grain, and he's like if you're just walking in a pace, you'll never move. And like that's what it is. He's just walking, and like he will never get past that escalator. And he's like, and if you stand still, all you're gonna do is go backwards. And that's true. Like that's all he did. It's like the only way to get ahead is to sprint. And he like Yeah, sprints across the screen. It's like that's what you if you want to get ahead in life, you have to sprint. You have to be busy. You have to go nonstop. If you're content with what you're doing, then you're just walking. And if you're, you know, struggling in life, that's when you're staying still. Like you have to see those opportunities and decide what you want to do. And I said, who's to say, there's most definitely wrong ways of living your life. Don't get addicted to drugs. Don't get addicted to alcohol. Don't go to jail, like stuff like that. But who's to say that, that person's life is worse than mine because they are playing video games all day? That's what they love to do. That's what they want to do. It's just who am I to say that they're living life wrong,
No, totally. And you can even make the same argument that people that are power hungry, chasing money, like not taking time to enjoy anything, are also living life wrong. Or people, they can't slow down and stuff like that. Like, I know my favorite moments, and I only get these moments because I work so hard, is like, I didn't get to spend time at Bristol, things like that. But like yesterday morning, Mom and Roman left to take Roman to school. Bobby was one getting her hair done, which in itself is a luxury, to be able to go spend a lot of money to get your hair done. So Bobby's going to go get her hair done. I'm happy that I can provide that to her. And then Bristol's like, looks at me and goes, "Dad, you want to get in the hot tub?" And me and her haven't gotten in the hot tub in a while. And I was like, you know what? I know my day's going to be pretty busy today. So I was like, yeah, Bristol, let's get in the hot tub. So yesterday morning at like 8 a.m., me and Bristol got in the hot tub for 30 minutes. And she swam. And the fact that, one, I have a hot tub at my property is, once again, I have that because I work really hard. I got to be outside in the beautiful Colorado mountains, bluebird sky, fresh snow around, like, because once again, I work so hard for that. And I did get to spend like 30 really quality minutes with my daughter, like, granted, it's only 30 minutes, but like she still got some good dad time yesterday, where sometimes there is no dad time because I was out of town in Breck for 3 days or things like that. So perspective.
And that's something I've really worked on, especially we haven't touched on it in a while, but like with my walk with God and like, reading in the Bible and everything, is like just reminding myself to be grateful and like grateful of everything. Like I literally, like the last couple of days when I've been praying, I'll be talking about like, I'm grateful for like, thank you for yesterday. Thank you for today. Thank you for the days that you've given me. And then I'm like, thank you for all my successes. Thank you for all my failures. Thank you for trials and tribulations. Thank you for, like literally like thanking God for all the successes in my life and all the issues and problems. Like, thank you that I have the opportunity to go through those problems, because then that gives me an opportunity to grow and change and evolve, so being grateful for things is super underrated. So, good for you for doing that. But, shoot, I had another thing. My brain is not working today. My brain is not working today. But I think that that's fine, because I think we're approaching the end of the podcast.
My brain is working, and I want to say is the being thankful for the challenges is extremely hard. But when you understand that God or life, whatever you want choose to believe, will give you challenges to help you grow, just like a muscle in the body. You always hear this analogy, like your muscles aren't going to get bigger unless they're stretched and ripped and pulled and somewhat damaged. They won't grow. And just like a muscle, you won't grow unless you're stretched and pulled and at your breaking point. And in a lot of ways, like, if you made it this far in the podcast, you heard me kind of being like, I don't know what's going on with my long form content. I'm struggling with fulfilling my merchandise. Like, I had a really busy day yesterday. Like, I'm going through stretches and pulls and all kinds of stuff. But these are challenges that I'm grateful for. I'm very thankful to be in a position where I even have a company to have issues. And at the end of the day, all of this is helping me grow and stretch and know that, like, hey, like, eventually, like, let's get away from Teespring and get away from Printful, and like, let's find the right partner in snowboarding like Gilson to fulfill merchandise and make it more snowboard oriented, and just like everything is a learning experience and everything is a growing experience, and it's so hard to see it sometimes when you're in it. But if you can have that perspective and take those moments to pray or meditate or think on what's truly going on in your life, that's when you can really see major growth.
Indeed. It's hard to be grateful for the difficult parts in your life, but that's what makes you stronger. And so being thankful for that aspect, I think a good way of thinking about it is it's an opportunity to grow. Like these trials, these tribulations are an opportunity for you to better your life. And just trying to think of it that way is one of the healthier or easier ways of thinking about it. But I think that's a great note to end the podcast on. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, being a part of the conversation. We really do appreciate it over here at the Buckhouse podcast. Yeah, episode 37 in the books. You got anything else to say, bro?
Yeah, our oldest brother, Tyler Buckhouse, has been making content on Instagram and TikTok. Our oldest brother literally makes over 6 figures a year flipping items that he finds at Goodwills and thrift stores and stuff like that. And he's actually taught Ben and my younger sister, Sarah, how to do a lot of it as well. And I know they've found success in the flipping aspect. But he's making fun content. I'm enjoying it. I love my brother. I love all my brothers, except for Ben. And
but
Ben,
Tyler's content is great. I'll throw stuff around. It's hilarious, guys. It's hilarious. You have to check out his stuff. Funny. It's so funny. We'll have to have him on the podcast soon. I'm going to text him. So
yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, that's it. Cool.
Sounds good. Well, bro, love talking to you. Love talking to you guys in the podcast world. We'll see you guys next week with another episode. Peace.
Peace.